Mark Denholm
at breakfast podcast.
Hello, welcome to episode 196 of the Atom Radio Best Bits of Breakfast podcast, and this is Mark Denholm back after a week off after half term, although not a full week this week, only 4 days, but don't worry, we've still managed to harvest a few of the best bits, stroke least worst bits for the podcast anyway. And this week we've got Being Offended, the 1990s version. We've got Christmas Far Too Early. We've got Attractiveness and Just How. We've got When's a Celebrity Definitely Not a Celebrity and More of a Failed Politician. We talked about chocolates than the one no one likes, and in Happy Hour we talked 80 songs.
Mark Denholm
at breakfast podcast.
Your body makes you sexy. Your smile makes you pretty. But your personality makes you beautiful. So they say. In other news, it takes 5 different parts of your brain for you to understand and laugh at a joke. Therefore, when you tell a joke and someone doesn't get it, it's either not funny or it's the fact that only 4 out of the 5 parts of their brain needed were actually in full operation at the time.
This is Mark Denholm
at breakfast.
Atom Radio.
Morning. Mark Denholm at breakfast, banging out the anthems on Atom Radio. If you are a child of the late 80s and 90s, this day, 1996, the original cartoon series of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles aired its final episode. Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird invented the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in 1984 in comic book form, but for some strange reason, I think they had to be known as Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, didn't they? Just in case somebody got offended. And that was back in the 90s. Imagine nowadays, people would definitely be offended, would they not?
Mark Denholm
at breakfast podcast.
17 minutes to 7 o'clock, streaming from Slough, banging out the anthems. This is Mark Denholm at breakfast. Morning and welcome to Wednesday, November 2nd already. Do you know what? I want to take issue. Like all over my social feeds yesterday, there were people who were saying, right, that's it, Halloween's over, time to get the Christmas tree out. No. Christmas trees not before December the 1st. Just because Halloween is done does not mean you must get your Christmas tree out. Allow Christmas to be at Christmas, Halloween at Halloween, and you can have fireworks night in between.
Mark Denholm at breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
Morning then, Mark Denholm at breakfast. Welcome to Wednesday, banging out the anthems, half an hour away from the school run, which must mean it's probably breakfast time. Do you know what? When I get up in the morning, I can't really face eating that early, and therefore I may have a biscuit or two, and I do drink a lot of tea. But yeah, I wait until 10 before I eat, and sometimes that's quite distressing. I just thought I'd share that with you.
Mark Denholm
at breakfast podcast.
19 minutes to 7 o'clock. Morning, welcome to Thursday. It's Mark Denholm at breakfast, banging out the anthems. People at the same level of attractiveness are more likely to end up together. This is so materialistic and vain, and I can't believe I'm going to say this. But do you ever sometimes look and you think, how did he get her? You ever sometimes look at that and you think, how? Yeah, sometimes you wonder, don't you? And it does happen the other way as well. How did she get him? You do sometimes wonder. But on the other side, forget just the attractiveness for a moment. We are told that it takes 0.2 seconds to fall in love. I don't know whether I believe that. The first one, yeah, I do. The second one, I don't know.
This is Mark Denholm
at breakfast.
Atom Radio.
Morning, Mark Denholm at breakfast on Atom Radio. The slightly depressed Mark Denholm at breakfast. Given the price of tea is going to go up with the raw ingredients, the tea and the milk and everything all going up. Food inflation hits 11.6%. I can tell you now, though, I will not be cutting back on my tea consumption.
Mark Denholm
at breakfast podcast.
Morning then, welcome to Friday. It is Mark Denholm at breakfast. We've arrived at the eve of the weekend, and it is nearly within touching distance. It definitely is within sniffing distance, and it's fireworks weekend as well. Remember, tomorrow is the 5th of November. That's not quite how it went, but obviously I just thought I'd improvise a little because, well, it's not the 5th today, is it? From the news yesterday, it was initially thought Matt Hancock was getting 350 grand to do I'm a Celebrity. Revealed in a few papers yesterday, they now believe he's getting 400 grand to do I'm a Celebrity, right? And he's not even a celebrity. That's the problem here. He's not even a celebrity. He's a disgraced former government minister who had to resign following, well, one cock-up too many, I suppose, really. But what I was thinking as well, though, that makes me very, very angry is that Matt Hancock, the apparent celebrity, gets 400 grand for going into I'm a Celebrity while still being an MP, and he hasn't resigned his seat in the House of Commons, and therefore his constituents are stuffed without an MP for 5.5 weeks while he is down under in Australia. But when you work out how much he earns as an MP, he will earn in that time 9 grand for being an MP, while in Australia being paid 400 grand to be on I'm a Celebrity. And that just knocks me. I think MPs get far, far too much anyway. They lead a privileged life. They get an 86 grand salary or whatever, and they get to expense most of their stuff. And I have to say that really knocks me now. It really has. But other than that, though, it's Friday. I refuse to be any further knocked by him.
This is Mark Denham
At breakfast.
Atom Radio.
And today we are talking about Steve Merry's aversion to Bounty. It's been announced that Bounty will not be in the Christmas 2022 celebrations. At the moment, you'll get Snickers, Mars, Twix, Bounty, Galaxy Maltesers, or even Maltesers Teasers, Milky Way and Galaxy Caramel, but they are ditching the Bounty for Christmas 2022. In terms of Quality Street, what do you get in Quality Street? There are loads of them in Quality Street as well, including the purple one, the green triangle, orange cream, toffee finger, milk chocolate block, strawberry delight, orange cream as well. And if you're getting roses, then you've got tangy orange cream, strawberry cream, hazel and caramel, dairy milk chunk, golden barrel, the Hazelwell caramel, signature truffle and country fudge. However, today though, we're focusing on the celebrations and indeed the fact that Mr. Merry absolutely detests the Bounty. You'll never see him eating a Bounty. Today I want to know, with Christmas on the way, and it is a long way away, so if your Christmas decorations are up, no, you're too early. But with Christmas on the way, every Christmas has some form of tub of chocolates in them. What do you do with the ones that you do not like? In the Merry case, it would be Bounty. What do you do with them? On air at atomradio.co.uk this Friday morning. What do you do with the chocolates in a multi-pack you don't like?
Mark Denham at breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
Morning, Rick. Rick says, you have swap meets for stickers and toys and stuff like that. Maybe in January we should arrange a swap meet so people can get rid of the chocolates that they don't like and nothing goes to waste. Well, there's an idea. Thank you, Rick, for your email. There's an idea. I can just imagine Steve Merry now turning up with handfuls about here. Just take them. I don't even need a swap. Just take them, please. I can't stand them. Get them off my hands. I can imagine it.
This is Mark Denham
At breakfast.
Atom Radio.
I'm just trying to look. I mentioned beforehand, Mr. Brightside from The Killers, a naughty song. Bohemian Rhapsody from Queen, a 70s and 90s song, are both in amongst the most streamed songs ever. Let me just have a look. Hang on. Most streamed 80s song ever. Spotify. Let me have a look. Top 10 most streamed 80s songs. Ready for it? Here we go. Guns N' Roses, Welcome to the Jungle. Queen and David Bowie, Under Pressure. Queen, Another One Bites the Dust. Bon Jovi, Living on a Prayer. Aha, Take On Me, Survivor, Eye of the Tiger. Toto and Africa. Michael Jackson, Billie Jean, Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child of Mine. Do you know what the most streamed 80s song ever is on Spotify? It's not Chris Rea and I Can Hear Your Heartbeat. I just thought I'd play that just to add a bit of drama to it. The most streamed ever 80s song on Spotify is Journey and Don't Stop Believing It. Quite right too. I love that. Back to the anthems though for Friday with Chris Rea on Atom Radio.
Mark Denham.
At breakfast. Podcast.
Definitely Journey deserves to be the most streamed song, I think, of the 1980s. It's interesting as well that research done in terms of streamed songs of the 80s seems to show that the more streamed Bryan Adams songs since Spotify started counting and that, since they were included in official data, appear to be the ones that were lesser successful at the time of their actual release way back in the 80s when you could buy them on vinyl or on CD single. Times and tastes change. Speaking of taste as well, what about the chocolates? There are so many that I don't like. And you know what? After the show yesterday, I thought I'm going to go and treat myself to one of those Quality Street Favourites tub. You pay $5 and you get a whole bunch of strawberry creams, and I like those. And I thought, you know what, it's a bit of a rip-off, but I'm going to go and treat myself. And I walked to the shop after the show that sells them, and they only had the purple ones. And that is one of the ones that I don't like. And given the whole topic yesterday was what do you do with the ones you don't like, I didn't really see a point in spending $5 and buying a whole box of what they call favourites that I wouldn't have eaten a single chocolate of. No. Thank you so much for checking out this week's podcast. Thank you if you listened live. We'll do it all again next week. Starts Monday at 6 o'clock. Listen online. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Mark Denholm
At breakfast.
Podcast.